All right. Let's take 15 minutes.
Off record at 10:51 a.m. On record at 11:06 a.m.
All right. Are we ready to continue? Is the state ready with your next witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Prior to that, I wanted to publish to the jury hard copies of 3 slides identified by Sergeant Page yesterday. I did not want to pass any crime scene photos.
Okay.
But I do have diagrams that I want to pass to the jury.
Okay. And that was State's Exhibit.
One is State's Exhibit 182.
Okay. So though I've got 182, 183, and 184, are those what you're talking about?
I'm talking about the topography.
Oh, okay.
And
So you want to publish 182, okay.
I need to find the evidence number of these, I apologize.
Okay. Well, can we bring the jury in while you're doing that?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's go bring them in. 182 is the topographical, and then there were aerial photos they were given copies of those. The jury was given copies of 183 and 184, those were the photos with the helicopter.
Right, correct.
They were given those.
Correct.
But they were not given the photo of the Google Earth map depicted in 182.
Correct. And also, it's the topography slide that he identified. I just do not see it in the collection here.
What is it? You've been marking those. What is?
These are just my copies. I just wanted to make sure.
Oh, you didn't have them.
I didn't take his, in all honesty.
Oh, okay. But you've been marking on your copies what they are. I mean, you didn't on.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's got them all filed back there, but these are just...
Yours.
Yeah. All rise.
Jury in at 11:09 a.m.
Okay. So it's just 182 then.
182.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, gentlemen. All right. You may proceed, Mr. Luttrell.
Thank you, Your Honor. Prior to the next witness, we want to provide to the jury hard copies of State's Exhibit 182 that they have seen yesterday. It is a Google Earth illustration, and it does contain some measurements of the area of the bridge and the crime scene.
Okay. You may. All right. You may call your next witness, State.
Judge, the state of Indiana would call Trooper Brian Bunner, please.
Witness sworn.
Will you state your name, please?
It's Brian Bunner.
And will you spell your last name for me, please?
Bunner.
And how are you employed?
With the Indiana State Police.
And how long have you been employed with the Indiana State Police?
About 24 years.
And were you employed in law enforcement before you started with the Indiana State Police?
I was.
And how long have you been employed in law enforcement in total?
About 27 years.
And did you go through special schooling or training to become a law enforcement officer?
Yes. The Indiana State Police 22-week Recruit Academy.
And what is your role currently in the Indiana State Police?
Right now, I'm the lieutenant and I oversee the digital forensics program for the entire state.
And to be involved with the digital forensic portion of the Indiana State Police, did you have to go through additional specialized training to be qualified for that position?
Yes.
Can you tell me, well, first of all, I'm gonna show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 185. Can you tell me what that is?
This is a statement of qualifications or a CV or resume, if you will, of my training and experience, a summary of.
And it does that accurately reflect the training and qualifications and different classes and seminars you've been through to become a digital forensic examiner?
Yes.
Judge, the state would move to admit or marked as State's Exhibit 185. State's Exhibit 185 offered.
Any objection? No. I'm sorry, is there any objection? I said no. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. I'll show that 185 is admitted without objection.
Judge, the state would move to publish that to the jury.
You may.
Trooper Bunner, can you outline for the jury just briefly the course of your progression through the Indiana State Police? You graduated from the Law Enforcement Academy. You then became a trooper. And what happened from there?
Eventually, I became a district detective at Connorsville District. From there, I moved on to the Digital Forensics Unit within the State Police out of Indianapolis, and at that time it was called the Cybercrime Unit. It's been.
And what year did you move to the Cybercrimes Unit?
It's 2009.
And have you been with that unit, which is now the Digital Forensic Unit, since that time?
Yes. I've either worked as an examiner or been a supervisor in the same unit.
And is it fair to say that since 2009, you've gone through annual training as part of being part of that unit?
Yes, sir.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
So with the evolution of technology, it's always changing, and so we make sure that we always go to yearly training, if not more than one training a year, webinars, including just trying to keep upon the technology to stay current.
Is it safe to say that said this already, but that technology evolves each year?
Yes, sir.
And so is it important for you to have yearly training to stay up with that technology?
Yes, sir.
Or the changes in that technology?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I heard the term network intrusion. Is that the same as cell phone forensics?
No, that's totally separate.
Can you describe the two?
So cell phone forensics, well, digital forensics is an overall discipline. There's different disciplines within the digital forensics realm. So you have computer forensics, you have cell phone forensics ICS, you have, drone forensics, internet things forensics, you have network intrusion or incident response types of crimes. So there's different specialties within digital forensics as well.
And you specialize just in digital forensics. Is that right?
Digital forensics, specifically computers, cell phones, and other digital devices that are brought to us.
And what type of equipment and/or programs do you commonly use to perform your duties?
So we have paid programs, commercial programs that we purchase to do cell phone and computer forensics. Some of them are named Celebrite, Magnet Axiom, X-Ways, so on and so forth. There's different paid license programs that we use to get into phones or get into computers.
And your specialty again is phones and computers. Is that what you testified to?
Yes, sir.
How many phones do you think you've examined since 2009?
Oh, it's in the hundreds of not 1,000 or more.
And have you testified at court about prior examinations?
Yes, sir.
In those prior hearings, some of those, have you been declared as an expert?
In some, yes, I have.
I want to talk a little bit about cell phone forensics. Can you explain the process that you go through when you do a cell phone extraction?
Yeah. So in 2017, when this case was brought to us, the procedure was basically you get the phone in, you do a manual examination to kind of see, what packaging it's in, what condition it's in, is the screen cracked, so on and so forth. So I have a digital camera that I document all those things. You open up the settings, you take pictures of the serial number, the name of the accounts, the screens. You take a digital picture of the screens, what applications are on the phone, all that, that's the first line. And then the second part of that is picking a software to try to extract the data, so extracting the data using one of the commercial tools that I talked about. And then at that point, you take that data and then you put it in another software to process. And so you have all this technology, the digital, things that you get off the device, and then you process it with this software. And then, from there, you process that into a report form or readable format so the investigators or the prosecutors can read what was on that phone.
I want to break that down a little bit more. You were talking really fast, and so I want to make sure I understand. The first thing you do when you get a phone for an extraction is that you examine the outside of the phone?
Yes, sir.
And when I say examine the outside of the phone, what do you do to examine the outside of the phone?
You take pictures of the packaging, the phone, the case that's on it. You remove the case. You take pictures of all these.
So you not only take a picture of the outside of the phone, meaning the phone outside the case, you also remove the SIM card and take a picture of that?
Yes, sir.
Then, do you turn on the phone and open the screen of the phone and take pictures of what you see on the screen?
Yes, sir.
And while you're doing that, do you open different applications within the phone?
It just depends. It depends on what is needed for the case. In this case, I believe there is a Snapchat application on there, so I was able to open up the Snapchat and take a screenshot.
We'll get to that part, but
Okay.
in the typical forensics examination, do you tend to open apps that are on the phone and take a look at those apps?
Yes.
And then do you photograph what you see?
Yes.
After you've done the physical examination and taken those photographs, what is the next step that you do?
So you find the piece of software that you need to extract that data off, and then you plug that phone into a computer with that software, and you basically download that information off that phone.
How do you know what software to use on what phone?
Different softwares support different phones. Not one piece of software supports everything, and so it just depends on the make, the model. The version of software that's on the phone could be a factor. And so it depends really.
So you take a look at the phone, depending on what kind of phone it is, if it's an iPhone, and then you'll determine what program would work best on that phone to extract the data.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then you plug the phone into your computer?
Yes, sir.
You use that program to extract the data?
Yes, sir.
And when you extract the data, what do you get?
Well, you get an exact copy of everything that's on that phone that's supported for the extraction of that device.
And with that raw data, what do you do?
So you take that raw data, and then that's where you put it in another program to process that information, and that's where it deciphers the information to understand what the contacts are, or the text messages, the calls, the pictures, the videos, all that type of thing.
This raw data, my understanding is the raw data is in basically computer format where it's ones and zeros. Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
And something that can't be read by someone like me that's looking at it.
Yes, sir.
And so it's necessary for you to put that raw data into a program that deciphers it and makes it readable to someone who can't read ones and zeros?
Yes, sir.
Once you do that, the information that is produced, what do you do with that information?
Then once it's deciphered in that program, then you create a report, and when you create a report, there's, basically 4 different ways that we can produce reports in different formats. So a PDF report that POP look can read, an Excel spreadsheet that people can read as far as the messages and so on and so forth. It's called an HTML file, which is basically a web browser file. It doesn't use the internet, but it uses a web browser like Edge or Outlook or Edge or Safari or a web browser to look at it. And then the 4th type is basically called a portable case, where it's like a small little program that the investigator can install in their computer that can read the data in electronic form, kind of licky what I see in the electronic form on that process, Celebrite extraction.
I want to talk about some of the data that you're able to retrieve from phones when you go through this process. Are you able to retrieve text messages?
Yes, sir.
What about photos?
Yes, sir.
What about videos?
Yes, sir.
What about activity within the apps on the phone?
Possibly, yes.
Okay. And all this information is put into that report that you're talking about.
Yes.
I want to take you back to 2017. What position were you in at that time?
I was a fully trained digital forensic examiner, sergeant by rank, but practicing digital forensics, working cases day to day.
And where were you stationed?
Out of the Indianapolis office.
And is that out of the cybercrime unit in Indianapolis?
Yes, sir.
And at some point, did you become involved in the investigation into the murder of Abby and Libby?
Yes.
Can you tell me how you became involved?
We were contacted that investigators found a phone that they believed was part of the investigation, and so that phone was relayed down to Indianapolis at my office on February 15th of 2017 by Trooper Larry Moat. Once he brought the phone down, then I...
Hold, let me ask you a few questions in there.
Okay.
Okay. You're getting ahead of me. You kind of answered my next question. When did you get the phone?
It was February 15th of 2017.
And when you first received the phone, what did you do?
Like I mentioned before, I did that manual examination of taking digital photographs of the phone, the condition, the packaging, and so forth.
I'm gonna show you what's been marked as States Exhibits 186 through 199. I want you to take a look at those photos for a moment. Trooper Bunner, did you get an opportunity to look at those photos?
I did.
And are those photos you took?
Yes.
And are those photos that you took while doing the physical examination of the phone that was brought to you by Trooper Moat?
Yes, sir.
Judge, the state would move what's been marked as States Exhibits. Let me look at the numbers one more time, 186 through 199. States Exhibits 186 through 199 offered.
No objection. All right. Without objection, 186 through 199 are admitted. States Exhibits 186 through 199 admitted.
Judge, I would ask permission to publish those pictures. I've stapled them in a packet for ease to the jury.
You may.
Thank you, Judge. States Exhibits 186 through 199 published. Sergeant Bunner, I'd like to go through the photos and describe to the jury.
So the picture is just a manila envelope. This is the packaging that the phone was inside.
And now I want to go to States Exhibit 187.
This is a copy of the PR&R, the property record and receipt for Indiana State Police. That's how we keep chain of custody. I just took a picture of a tacit was brought to me.
And is that typical that you would take a picture of that?
Yes.
I'm gonna show you what's been marked as States 188 and 189. Put them together. Can you describe what those are?
These are the pictures of the front and back of the phone that I examined with the...
And are those pictures that you took after it was taken out of the package?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna show you pictures of 190 and 191. Can you describe what those are?
190 is a picture with the case removed, the back side of the phone. And then the 191 is a close-up of the back side of the phone, and I do that so that you see the model number and the identifiers on the back of it.
And what kind of phone is this that you were examining?
It's an Apple iPhone 6s.
I'm gonna show you what's been marked as States Exhibit 192. Can you tell me what that is?
This is a copy of or a picture of the SIM card tray and the SIM card that was removed from the item I examined.
So as part of your physical examination, you not only photograph the outside of the phone, but you take the SIM card out and photograph that as well?
Yes, sir.
Why do you do that?
It shows, basically, that what kind of carrier it is. So in this instance, it was a AT&T SIM card, and then it has the SIM card number etched in the top of the card.
And so by seeing the name AT&T on that SIM card, does that tell you which carrier would be a provider for the phone?
Yes, sir.
And so, in this case, who is it?
AT&T.
I'm gonna show you what's been marked as States Exhibits 193 and 194. Can you describe to the jury what those are?
193 is a picture of the screen lock to show that it was a locked phone or it had a lock code on it. And then 194 is a picture of it unlocked at the home page.
Now, I want to back up a little bit. When you got the phone, was the phone powered on?
It was not.
How did you get the phone to power on?
I plugged it into the charger and charging the phone.
So was the battery dead on the phone when you got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you plugged it in?
Yes, sir.
When the phone came on, is that lock screen the first thing that popped up?
Yes, sir.
Did you have the code to the phone to be able to get into it?
Yes, we had been provided with it.
And so you punched the code into the phone, and then states Exhibit 194. Is that the screen you saw when you opened the phone?
Yes, sir.
Did you manipulate the phone in any way before you opened it?
No.
Meaning you didn't delete phone calls, you didn't delete messages, you didn't do anything to the phone prior to punching in the code and opening the phone?
No.
And so that picture states Exhibit 194. Is that a true and accurate copy of what you saw on the phone when you opened it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. After that, did you then continue on with your physical examination?
Yes.
And did that entail opening settings and different app within the phone to see what information you could gather?
Yes, sir.
So I want to go through these. I want to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 195. Can you tell the jury what that is?
That is in the settings portion, under the general settings, where it has the name of the phone. By default, a phone is just named iPhone. In this instance, it's been edited to be named Libby's iPhone.
I want to show you what's been marked as State's 196. Can you tell the jury what that is?
That is a picture of the settings of the iCloud. Each iPhone has an iCloud associated with it, an iCloud account, and this is the name of the iCloud account, which it names Libby or libby@icloud.com.
I'm gonna show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 197. Can you tell the jury what that is?
That is another screenshot of the Apple ID that was associated with that Apple iPhone, and it's mirrored towards the iTunes and the App Store. You have to have an Apple ID in order to purchase an app or download an app, and so the Libby at iCloud is the account that was used to do that.
I'm gonna show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 198. Can you tell the jury what that is?
So I took a screenshot or a digital picture of the settings, particularly in the iMessage settings, where on iPhones they have regular text messages, but they also have iMessage as a feature, and so an iMessage can be attached to an Apple ID, it can be attached to a phone number. And in this case, both were checkmarked, the phone number and the Apple ID Libby at iCloud.com was used for iMessage.
And then finally, State's Exhibit 199. Can you tell the jury what that is?
So it says settings. This is a screenshot or a digital picture of in the Snapchat settings menu, where it shows the name is Libby and the username is Libby with a date of birth and mobile phone number.
And that is within the Snapchat application?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sergeant Bunner, I'm gonna show you this is out of sequence numbering wise. I'm gonna show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 206. Can you just identify what this is?
So this is a digital photo in the settings general app, where I take a picture of...
Well, wait, let me stop you. Did you take that photo?
Yes, sir.
And was that part of your physical examination of the phone?
Yes, sir.
And specifically, was that part of your examination when you're looking in the phone and gathering information once the phone is opened, meaning once the passcode is punched in and you're looking at the screen?
Yes, sir.
All right. Judge, the state would move to admit what's been marked as Exhibit 206. State's Exhibit 206 offered.
No objection. All right. Without objection, 206 is admitted. No objection.
Judge, the state would move to sorry. We've already done that. I'm sorry. Can you now? This has been admitted, and I realize it's out of sequence. I realized it wasn't in the group of pictures that I handed you before. Can you explain to the jury what State's Exhibit 206 is?
So it's a digital photo I took of the settings and the general app, but basically it shows the time zone that the phone is set in and then, which is America, Indiana, Indianapolis, which is commonly known as Eastern Time Zone. And it's checked or the box is set for to set automatically, and that means that basically the phone will receive and set automatically to that specific time zone according to the cell phone towers.
And can you tell me a little bit how that works? the cell phone towers, how do they get the time to make sure it's accurate?
So the carriers, in this case AT&T, sets a date and time, and that is synced to phones that are set to set automatically with the date and time that's set for that particular phone.
And you took this picture in 2017?
Yes, sir.
And it was on Eastern Time.
Yes, sir.
Are we on Eastern Time yet today?
Yes, sir.
And are we Eastern Time in this geographical location?
Yes, sir.
And so the time that was on that phone, that was set to that phone, should be the time that we are here currently today.
Yes, sir.
Okay. After you did the physical examination of this iPhone 6s, what did you do next?
At that point, since you've taken the digital photos and documented that part of it, you move on to the next phase, which is to extract the data off the phone.
And how did you do that in this case?
So in this case, I use Celebrite. It's a commercial program that we purchase, a license, and it supports a lot of phones around the world. And so I used that to extract the data off the phone.
Celebrite is a program that you purchased, you said. And how often have you used Celebrite?
So the state police specifically purchases it, the licenses for that. But in 2017, we were using Celebrite on a daily basis to work cases.
And is it a program that you are familiar with?
Yes, sir.
Is it a program that you had used several times in various phone extractions prior to this?
Yes, sir.
And tell me the kind of information that Celebrite will gather from or extract from the phone.
So it depends on what make and model of the phone, what version of software it is, and in what Celebrite, what other forensic programs support.
And is there, I guess I'll just ask you, is this commonly referred to as a Method 1 technique?
For this iPhone extraction, it was a Method 1 extraction off that device.
Do you know why it's called a Method 1 extraction?
I do not. That's just the way that Celebrite named that extraction method.
How is that different than other extraction methods, if you know?
So with iPhones, they have a Method 1, later they come up with a Method 2, Method 3. But with iPhones are a little bit different, because you'd hook it up to your computer. With Androids at the time, we had a little tablet box, if you will. It's a Celebrite that you would plug in the Android phones into and extract the data through that device. But with iPhones, it was specifically you used a computer to plug the phone in to extract the data.
On February 15th of 2017, is the Method 1 extraction the only capability that you had on this type of phone?
For the Celebrite program, yes.
For the Celebrite program, okay. Did you then run the phone through the Celebrite program?
Yes.
And what product did you get?
So I received the extraction, the data that whatever it could support off of that phone.
And did you look at the data that you were able to extract from that phone?
Yes. Once I put that in the Celebrite program to analyze it, I could see where it's deciphered all the phone calls, the messages, the pictures, videos, and so on and so forth.
In the Celebrite report, you were able to look at the Celebrite report that was produced?
Yes, sir.
And was that report several hundred pages long?
Yes, sir.
Did you go through each page of that report individually?
No.
What did you do?
So typically, there's a ton of information that's brought off the phone. We take that and we put it into report form, and then we report that or give that to the detectives that's working the case so that hopefully they can further their case, their investigation.
And is that what you did here?
Yes, sir.
Now, why didn't you take the time, after you extracted the information, to go through that report?
If we went though every single database, it would probably take weeks, if not months or years to go through every single phone line by line.
Did you have time to do that on February 15th of 2017?
On February 15th of 2017, this was a day after they found the victims, to my understanding of limited knowledge of the case, and so time was of the essence, so we wanted to get the information off that phone and into the hands.
And in fact, while you did the extraction, did Trooper Moat sit and wait on you to get it done?
He did.
And so Trooper Moat was there to rush that information back to investigators as soon as you were done?
Yes, sir.
Did you look at any of the data before you handed the information back over to Trooper Moat?
I looked at a little bit of the data, yes.
Tell me what kind of data you looked at.
So typically, when we extract data off of phones, there's easily seen information, and part of that is the last usher activity, basically, and that's probably important for the case. I'm assuming, being the district detective prior to that, looking at the prior day or two before, that may deem some valuable information off the phone, and so that's what I did.
And let's break it down to the nuts and bolts of this. Did you look at the camera roll on the phone?
I did.
And the camera roll is what?
The camera roll is the application that stores the photos and videos on an iPhone specifically.
And why did you look at that specific section or data from the phone?
I noticed that.
No. Why did you do that?
Why did I do that?
Yes.
Because that's in the timeline feature of the Celebrite report that showed a video was taken in the last day or two of that phone activity.
And is it fair to say that could be important evidence in an investigation?
Yes, sir.
The last photos, videos, the last things on that camera roll could be important pieces of evidence for any investigation?
Yes, sir.
Objection, leading. Sustained.
Why is it that you went to that section of the phone first?
That was the last user activity on the timeline report.
And were you able to see the last photos and videos taken with that phone?
Yes, sir.
And what did you find?
I found a video was taken on February 13th of 17.
Judge, the parties have stipulated to the video that Sergeant Bunner found on the phone. I'd ask the court permission to play that video now.
What is the item? What is the exhibit number?
I'm sorry. Judge states Exhibit 200. I apologize, Judge. I got ahead of myself. States Exhibit 200 offered.
That's all right. So without objection and by.
Sergeant Bunner, does this video have sound?
It does.
And I'm gonna play the video now. By playing, Sergeant, is that the video that you saw on the iPhone 6 that you were examining?
Yes, sir.
And at this point when you examined the video, did you know anything about the investigation?
I know there's 2 girls that were possibly killed, and that's about all I knew about the investigation.
Were you able to examine the timestamp that was on the video?
I was.
And what did you find?
It was taken at 2:13 p.m.
And what date?
On February 13th of 2017.
And how do timestamps on videos work? How does a video get a timestamp of when it was taken?
It usually deems that from the date and time that's set on the phone.
Would that be a correlation with the other exhibit that we examined, stating the phone was on a certain time standard?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When you do an extraction, a cell phone extraction, does it give you a true and accurate copy of the information that's on the phone?
Yes, sir.
And so would this video have been a true and accurate transfer from what was on the phone?
Yes, sir.
Once you viewed the video, what did you do with the video next?
I basically sent that with Trooper Larry Moat with the reports to the investigators. I also was able to send a copy to Sergeant Jeremy Chapman, who's a state police digital forensic examiner who's been trained in audio-video enhancements. I also sent that to our fusion center and my boss, Captain Chuck Cohen, at the time.
Did you attempt to enhance the video in any way?
I did not.
Did you do anything else to examine the video? Take pictures of it? Anything like that?
I took screenshots.
And how did you take those screenshots?
When I play a video, we play it outside of the forensic software, and I played it it's called a VLC player. It's a free PLA that you can download the internet, and we use that player because it plays a lot of different file types, codecs. And so I was able to play that video on the VLC player, pause it, and then take screenshots, if you will.
I'm gonna show you what's been marked as States Exhibits 201 through 205. Can you review those, please? Sergeant, have you had an opportunity to?
Yes, sir.
And did you take those photos?
Yes, I did.
And what are those photos?
These are the video played, but pause to take a screenshot with the VLC player to take a snippet, basically, of a still photo as you see here.
And those are photos you took?
Yes, sir.
Judge, State would move to admit what's been marked as State's Exhibit 201 through 205. State's Exhibits 201 through 205 offered.
No objection. Without objection, 201 to 205 inclusive are admitted. State's Exhibits 201 through 205 admitted.
And, Judge, the State would ask permission to publish those to the jury at this time.
You may. State's Exhibits 201 through 205 published.
Sergeant Bunner, when you do the screenshots, do you do them in chronological order as the video plays?
Yes.
And I want to explain something to the jury. As you look through that packet is Exhibits 201 through 20. What was the last number?
205.
205, thank you. Those are not in chronological order, are they?
No, I guess they're not.
And that's A, and so which picture is really first in the video?
It's probably 205.
And so inadvertently, when I handed you the packet, it looks like I put the first picture last. Is that fair?
Yeah.
And so really, it should go 205, then back to 201, and then through the process?
Yes.
And in picture 205, can you see a man behind Abby?
No.
In the pictures following that, you can. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
After you gave the phone and the information back to Trooper Moat, did you examine the phone again on a later date?
I did.
Can you tell me about that, please?
The phone was brought back to me on February 21st of 2017.
Let me stop you. Why was it brought back to you on that day?
I don't know why it was brought that day, but that was the day that it was brought to us, and there was other phones that we examined at that point, too.
Once you got the phone on February 21st, 2017, what did you do with it then?
So knowing that this W as an ongoing case, that the first time that
And did you do that?
Yes. I used everything that I could to get data off that phone.
Did you? What other programs did you use to get additional data off the or to re-examine the phone?
So in totality, I've used a program called Lantern, a program called Blacklight, a program called Elcomsoft, Magnet Axiom, Magnet Acquire. We tried to do an iTunes backup. We did an iTunes cloud extraction. We tried to do as much as we could to try to get as much information off that phone or off that Apple ID to further the case.
What did you do with that information after you gathered it?
Well, we tried to give that over to the investigators if it was relevant, but there was really nothing that was in addition to what we found already through just the Celebrite extraction from the initial extraction.
So this additional or second extraction that you did, your testimony is that it didn't produce anything new from the first extraction?
No, sir.
Did you get the phone back a third time?
Yes, I did.
Tell me about that.
So in September, in the fall of 2017, on September 5th, I received the phone back again. At that point, Celebrite had released a Method 2 extraction, and then I had learned that there's a new Method 3 extraction as well.
Why do you keep extracting the same PH1? Why do you do that? Why don't you just take the first extraction, give it to investigators, and move on?
So there's different levels of extractions in cell phone forensics without getting too deep in the woods, but basically you have a logical extraction, which is a basic extraction, you advanced logical, which is a little bit more, you have a file system, you have a full file system, and then you have a physical extraction. So each level gains more information off the phone.
And is it safe to say that technology continues to develop month after month, year after year?
Yes.
And so why is it important to re-examine phones as technology develops?
Because there's new capabilities and new information and more information that we can gather off that phone as time and technology improves.
When you did the Method 2 extraction, Did you gather anything new in addition to the Method 1 extraction you did back on February 15th of 2017?
There was some new information, but it was minimal, nothing that was relevant to the case.
What did you do with the phone after that?
To get the Method 3 extraction, that was beyond the state police's capabilities, and so we reached out to our federal partners at Homeland Security, and I was able to ship that phone to Washington, D.C. for their lab to extract the Method 3 extraction from that phone.
And did you get a report from the Method 2 and the Method 3 extractions?
So once we received I did the Method 2 and we received the method.
A new report in addition to the one you created on February 15th?
Yes, sir.
Okay. After that, was the phone examined again?
Yes, sir.
When?
In 2019.
Who examined it in 2019?
That was Sergeant Chris Cecil, who was a digital forensic examiner in the same office.
Why was it re-examined in 2019?
So at that point, we had received newer technology now, which is called Grayshift, a product called Graykey at the time, and it extracted even more data from iPhones at that point.
Why didn't you do the extraction? Why was it given to Christopher Cecil?
In late 2017, I was promoted to First Sergeant, and so I was STLL in the Digital Forensics Unit or Cybercrime Unit at the time, now Digital Forensics, but I wasn't an active examiner doing day-to-day extractions. And so we wanted to make sure that we had one of our best examiners to do that phone, because I had stepped down and started doing more admin duties, so we wanted to make sure it had the best person to do that exam that was practicing.
Thank you, Judge. I don't have any other questions.
Ms. Auger. Thank you. Sergeant Bunner, you said that you sent off the phone for the Method 3 after you did the Method 2 extraction.
Yes.
Okay. But the Method 2 extraction report was dated October 12, 2017, correct?
I'd have to look at it.
Okay. And you sent off and had who did you have do the Method 2?
It was Homeland SEC, or you said Method 2?
Yes.
It was myself.
Or, I'm sorry, Method 3.
Method 3 is Homeland Security.
Homeland Security?
Affirmative response.
Not Customs?
Well, U.S. Customs and Homeland Security kind of merged, and it's kind of one agency.
Okay. So same thing to you?
Yes.
All right. And the Method 3 extraction was done on September 5th of 2017, right?
It was sent off, yes.
Okay. And the report was dated September 5th, 2017, right?
I would have to go back and fire up my computer if you want exact dates.
Okay. Now, I want to show you you took pictures of the phone when you originally received it in order to kind of document the state that it was in and the manner in which you received it, and also for chain of custody purposes. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 186, and can you tell us what that is a photo of?
I believe I already explained it before. This is a manila envelope that the phone was in when I received it on February.
And it's just labeled with a post-it note, right?
Yes.
Is that how you normally label things, with post-it notes, for chain of custody?
Judge, can we approach?
Yep, come on up.
Sidebar conference conducted.
The parties have stipulated to the chain of custody, so inaudible.
Oh.
So we're not confusing the jury that chain of custody is at issue.
Okay. Why are we doing this? Inaudible. You've already stipulated to it. We stipulated to it, but well, part of our whole case is that. You stipulated to it? Yes, we did. Okay.
Sidebar conference concluded.
Ladies and gentlemen, the parties have stipulated to the chain of custody of the phone. Now, Cellebrite has different levels of certifications of people using it.
Yes.
And you're not certified in Cellebrite, right?
State police does not actively do vendor certifications.
So that's no?
No.
Now, the method 1 logical extraction you did on February 15th, that kind of gets the over-the-hood information. Is that fair in saying? That what you can see you're using, if I have my phone and I push all my buttons and click on things, that's the information I can see, right?
It's an advanced logical extraction.
That's what you did on February 15th?
Yes.
Okay. And there are, is it logical, an advanced logical, a full file system, and then physical extraction, correct?
There's different levels, yes.
Are those the different 4 of the different levels?
That's some of them, yes.
Okay. And so a logical extraction is different than an advanced logical extraction, correct?
It depends on what's supported, what's not within a certain iOS or phone or whatever.
Okay. For iPhones and Celebrite, a logical extraction is different from an advanced logical?
Could be, yes.
Okay. Sir, I'm going to show you what I've marked as Defendant's Exhibit M. Can you identify that?
This is the front page of the PDF extraction report that I created for this case.
And Celebrite automatically generates in that report the type of extraction, correct?
It does.
And what type of extraction does that say it was?
Says logical method 1.
Thank you.
No objection, Your Honor, to Defendant's Exhibit M.
Are you moving to admit? Yes. Defendant's Exhibit M offered. All right. I'll show without objection, M is admitted. Now, you can also perform a full file system extraction on an iPhone 6s using Celebrite, right?
You can now, yes.
Well, you could in 2017, too.
No.
No?
No. There was only a method 1 extraction.
Okay. But you did a full file system extraction in October of 2017, right?
That would be the method 3.
And is that a full file system extraction?
To my understanding, yes.
Okay. That you did in 2017, when you just said it wasn't available, that one?
Not in February of 2017.
Oh. It was available to other people, but you didn't have the capability yet?
I don't know when the method 3 was available.
And the method 3 extraction gets all of the information, the under-the-hood kind of stuff, right?
There's not one program that gets every single bit of information.
Well, okay. It gets the file system files, all of the data on the phone you can't see if you're just looking at your phone, right?
Correct.
All right. And that includes things like when you turn the phone on?
Possibly, yes.
There's a power on log, right?
Possibly, yes.
Okay. And there's current power logs that show battery health, right?
Possibly, yes.
Okay. And there's a Knowledge C database that shows different types of what apps are on, when the screen is on, when it's off, kind of the whole life of the phone, right?
In 2017, we did not know anything about a Knowledge C database.
Okay. Well, there's a Knowledge C database included in your October 2017 extraction, right?
It appears it is, yes.
Okay. You just didn't know about it then?
We didn't know that the capabilities were there, and when we hit it with new updated software, then now that we know of the Knowledge C database exists and the Celebrite programmers have programmed the software to read that information now that we can see that in the method 3.
And you had that information available to you as of October 2017, right?
No.
Now, was it not available to you or did you just not see it?
We did not know about Knowledge C database in 2017.
Okay. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about the video on the phone. Actually, and you looked at the camera roll to get the video, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you recall what was on the camera roll from February 13th?
I'm sure you'll refresh my memory.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna show you, well, maybe. I'm gonna show you Defendant's Exhibit A, and that is the Monon High Bridge that's in the video, is that right?
Here's yes.
Okay. Was that photograph on Libby's camera roll?
Not that I recall.
And this is the photograph of Abby on the Monon High Bridge?
Yes.
Sergeant Bunner, Sergeant, right?
Lieutenant.
Ah, I copied Nick.
It was in 2017, yes.
Okay. Well, I apologize, Lieutenant Bunner. When you look at photographs and video, is there data associated with that you can see?
Sometimes yes, it does retain.
Okay. And there was data associated with the video, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And some of that data was longitude and latitude?
Yes, ma'am.
And Celebrite has the ability to map that, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And did you actually map it?
I did.
Okay. And I want to show you Defendant's Exhibit N. Is that a map that shows where the video, the longitude and latitude of the video, associated with the video?
Yes.
And, sir, could you circle, please, where the longitude and latitude was for the video?
I've not been privy to that information as far as where the bridge and bodies and everything were found,
Okay.
and so I couldn't answer that question.
All right. Well, but the longitude and latitude aren't anywhere near the bridge, right?
It is close within the vicinity, yes.
That showed upon your February 15th, 2006 extraction?
So this coordinate-specific coordinate is a coordinate in Delphi, Indiana.
Okay. And is that the coordinate that has the longitude and latitude?
This coordinate, yes.
Okay. Can you circle that for me?
This one right here
Yes, sir.
indicates.
Okay. And can you put your initials on there?
Judge, I'm gonna object. I guess I'm not sure what the identification purposes of that are for when she's telling him where to circle and what to put on the picture.
It's an identifier as to the longitude and latitude coordinates of the video. I guess it would go to the weight the jury would give to
That's fine, Judge.
the exhibit. Can you just initial that for us, please?
Indicates.
Thank you. Your Honor, can I go ahead and publish this, please? Perhaps we should admit it. Oh, admit it first? Thank you. Yes, move to admit Defendant's Exhibit N. Defendant's Exhibit N offered.
No objection, Judge.
All right. Without objection, N is admitted. Defendants. May I publish it? You may. Thank you. Defendants. Sergeant Bunner, did you point that information out to investigators?
No.
Okay. Did you have it pulled upon the map before you gave it back to Trooper Moat?
No. I did not look at the GPS data in 2017.
Earlier, you talked about iMessaging and whether that's turned on the phone, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And while I'm talking about that, I'm gonna show you State's Exhibit 195, is that the photo you took?
Yes.
Is that how it looks to me? That's printed off on landscape. You can print a picture out landscape or portrait, right?
Oh yes.
Okay. And that's printed landscape?
Yes.
And so some of the information down here on the bottom was cut off?
Yes.
Okay. Did you take the picture that only included the top part of the screen, or is it just because it's the way it's printed?
I just took the top portion of the screen.
Okay. And there's other information below that could be helpful, right?
Yes.
All right. And the same with Exhibit 196?
Yes.
197?
Yes.
And 199?
Yes.
Now, iMessaging was enabled on Libby's phone, is that correct?
Yes.
And iMessaging is a service by my words may not be accurate, so just bear with me. It's a service provided by Apple so that if user A has an iPhone and user B has an iPhone, they can use the Apple messaging to send pretty secure messages.
Judge, can I ask a few foundational questions?
You may.
Lieutenant Bunner, are you familiar with the operating systems that the Apple company uses?
I'm familiar with them, yes.
Are you familiar with iMessaging and how it works?
A limited capability, yes.
Judge, I'm gonna object to the question. I'm not sure he's in a position to be able to answer the technicalities of how iMessaging works from one phone to another, and so I'm gonna object under speculation, Judge, as he doesn't have the foundational, knowledge to be able to answer that question.
He says he has limited capability. If he doesn't know, but he can answer. Overruled.
What?
I'm gonna have to re-ask it, aren't it?
Yep. What's the question?
Okay. All right. So Apple has iMessaging, so if user A has an iPhone and user B has an iPhone, they can send messages, iMessages, back and forth through the Apple server?
Yes.
Okay. And there are other capabilities associated with two users who have iPhones.
Can you be more specific?
Yes, I can. Find my iPhone.
Yes.
Okay. And so if user A has an iPhone and that's, what do you say? Approved by user B, they can share their locations and find their locations?
Yes, that's my understanding.
Okay. And Libby had Find My iPhone enabled on her iPhone 6s.
You're asking or?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to specifically research that.
Okay. Sure. I'm gonna show you Defendant's Exhibit M, and you'll probably want to look at the last 3 lines.
Yes, it appears that Find My iPhone was enabled on this phone.
Your Honor, may I publish Defendant's Exhibit M? Do you have copies for the jury? I don't. I can make. Why don't we make copies? That's a lot of information for. Okay. It'll take an hour to pass that. Sure. If you know, is Find My iPhone an app that parents often use to kind of track their children?
They can.
Judge, I'm gonna object to the question as speculation.
Sustained. Sir, would you agree with me that every time you plug in the phone to do some kind of extraction or analysis, you are losing data?
Judge, I'm gonna object to the form of the question.
Yeah. Sustained. That's a hard habit to break. I'm sorry. Is it true that when every time you plug the phone into the computer to download, extract information, you lose some data from that phone?
In 2024, yes, we know that's true.
And it was true in 2017, right?
We weren't sure that capabilities or not.
Okay. So it was true, you just didn't know it to be true.
True.
Okay. And so when the phone was plugged in on February 15th, some data was lost?
Not necessarily.
Okay. What about the power off log? That just logs the last power off, right?
We know that now, in 2024, that there is a log, yes.
Okay. And let me be clear, I understand you may not have known it, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen, right?
True.
Okay. And so when it's powered off then on February 15th of 2017, we lost some data?
Possibly, yes.
And then, when you got it again on February 21st, you lost some data?
Yes.
And part of that is things are overwritten and part of it is data kind of falls off over time?
Sure.
Okay. And so when September 5th, when Customs did their or Homeland Security did their extraction, same thing?
Yes.
Okay. And then, on October 11th, when you did another one, same thing?
Sure.
And then in 2019, when Chris Cecil did his extraction, some more data was lost and overwritten?
Sure.
And that's data that you can never get back?
Yes.
And data the jury will never know?
Sure.
And, sir, I want to show you State's Exhibit 187. If I could just have a moment, Your Honor? Sure. Thank you. Sir, when we say too that Find My iPhone is enabled, that means it's on?
Yes.
Okay. Nothing further. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. McClelland.
Thank you, Judge. Lieutenant Bunner, I apologize for calling you the wrong rank before. I was used sergeant. But, Lieutenant Bunner, we talked about the different levels of certification on Celebrite, and through ISP, the policy is that you don't get those certifications through Celebrite. Is that your testimony?
So each vendor, cell phone vendor, forensics vendors have their own certifications. We can choose to take those certifications or not. It doesn't negate the fact that we can go through the training and get trained in how to use that software. It's just I've been told by the vendors.
Objection, hearsay. Sustained.
Let me, you're getting ahead of me here, and you kind of answered the question.
Okay.
That I was gonna ask next. Because you don't have the certification from Celebrite, does that equal that you're not trained on the program?
No, not at all.
Do you get training on how to use the program?
Absolutely.
Is your training different from the training that people get when they're certified?
No.
And so the only difference is you don't have the paper saying you're certified?
Correct.
Okay. So you have the same training?
Yes.
As of 2017, how many years have you worked with Celebrite?
About 8 years.
Okay. And through those 8 years, you continued to get training on the capabilities and how to use the program. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about, and again, I'm couching this in 2017, 'cause that's when the phone was first extracted, correct?
Yes.
Talked a little bit about photos and videos and GPS location. In 2017, what can you tell me about the GPS location of a video taken on an iPhone at that time?
So it's the data associated with GPS coordinates, the type of PH1 or camera that was taken, all that is called EXIF data, EXIF, and that's attached to a picture, a video, whatever, that's not seen by the naked eye but can be seen by our forensic programs.
And is the GPS location, I gotta go back, not is. Was the GPS location on videos taken in 2017, was it common for those GPS locations to be accurate?
It's within a reasonable area. The GPS location shows it's in Delphi. If I use an example, if you have a Find My iPhone app, if you want to, for instance, if I want to track my wife, I'll open up the Find My iPhone app and initially it'll show a big circle that says, she is within this general area. But we don't know exactly the pinpoint accuracy of within a meter or a yard or a foot of where she is until maybe 30 seconds, a minute later, maybe even 5 minutes later will it hone into exactly, to pinpoint exactly where she's at.
And so is that the same, I want to say methodology, was that the same methodology that occurred with the GPS location of a video back in 2017?
Yes. I mean...
And so when you start a video, would the GPS location range be larger?
Yes, it'd be larger.
And what would happen as that video records?
Eventually, that circle will get smaller and it'll get pinpoint accuracy depending on the cell phone towers and satellites and possibly Wi-Fi or anything else that it uses to triangulate to figure out exactly the pinpoint accuracy of that phone.
So when a video first starts, when it first started recording, you may have a map or a location or a large location.
Yes.
And as that video plays, what would happen?
Eventually, if it's trying to figure out where that phone is at, then it'll triangulate and that circle will get smaller and smaller and it'll have pinpoint accuracy eventually to where it is located.
And does it give you that accuracy within a range?
The initial one or the precise one?
Both of them.
So according to Celebrite and what information was gathered off, it said it's in this area and it just picked a GPS location and said, this is the location.
Okay. Well, let's follow up on that. Specifically with this video, the GPS location that you were shown, do you know how accurate that is within a range?
Prior to this, I mapped it out and it looks like a little over a mile away.
Okay.
To the area, it's a mile area.
And so is the GPS coordinates that you were shown today, are those pinpoint accuracy?
The one that Ms. Auger showed it is within a general range.
Okay.
Of accuracy, yes.
So the specific GPS location, that may not be where the video was taken, but it's within a range of that GPS location. Is that what I'm hearing?
Objection, asked and answered. Sustained.
When you plug in a phone, or when you turn on a phone, let me back up.
So constantly with cell phones, there's underlying things going on in the operating system behind the scenes that the user doesn't know about, and so the phone is constantly changing and moving things around and possibly deleting databases it doesn't need anymore, so yes.
Do you know this may be an unfair question, maybe a silly question? Is there any way to tell what data is lost?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay. I don't have any other questions, Judge.
Ms. Auger. Yes, please. Lieutenant Bunner.
Yes, ma'am.
In 2017, the only location data you had to provide investigators was the GPS coordinates on our exhibit. Is that correct?
I believe there's other GPS locations within the phone.
And you had those available to you in 2017?
They were provided on the report, yes.
Okay. Do you mean GPS coordinates associated with other videos and pictures?
Yes.
Okay. Did you map those?
No.
Okay. You mapped the video from February 13th?
Later on, yes.
Okay. And in 2017, the only coordinates you had were these coordinates on Defendant's Exhibit N, correct?
Yes.
Later, in 2024, First Sergeant Cecil found additional coordinates, is that right? Do you know?
I can't speculate to what he found.
Okay. All right. You haven't looked at any of his work?
I have not looked at his reports, no.
Okay. Fair enough. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Does anybody on the jury have any questions for the lieutenant?
Judge, while the bailiff's collecting those, I do have copies of State's Exhibit 206 to publish to the jury. I can do that afterwards, Judge, but I wanted to make the court aware that we were able to get those copies done.
Oh, all right. So you can go ahead and publish while we're talking.
Okay.
Sidebar conference conducted.
Did you ever document or take a photograph of the lock screen before the phone was unlocked to show notifications on the phone?
I don't have a problem with that question.
Can you share what relevance the sticky note on Exhibit 186 represents? The date looks to be February 17, 24. Can you elaborate on why the date doesn't reflect 2017? I mean, you guys stipulated to that.
Yeah.
So. Well, I think you're right. You stipulated. I understand. Okay.
I object, Judge. I think this is gonna confuse the jury. It was yeah.
I mean, had you not stipulated, then yeah, you could have gone all over the place with that, but you were agreeing that there was no issue with the chain of custody. Now you're questioning the chain of custody. Well, I'm questioning the investigation is what we're questioning. I know what you're doing, you're questioning the chain of custody on this specific exhibit that you'd stipulated to, that's my issue. Over our objection. Could the iPad associated with the same iCloud account have pulled the location of Memorial Park from the map exhibit? Wow.
I don't know if he can answer that. I don't know if he...
Did he look at the iPad? I think he did.
He extracted it, but Team, Inaudible, is the one that looked at it, yeah.
Okay.
You can do it. If you know, that's fine.
Was there software in September/October 2017 that could take the Method 3 Knowledge C export to disseminate into a readable, usable extracted report? Software person there.
Yeah. I'm fine with that question.
I don't even know what that means. Are you okay with that? Yeah. As of February 15, 17, were you aware of any deleted photos or videos?
That's a good one. We're good with that.
Do Snapchat photos save to the person's phone?
He probably can't answer that, but I'm okay with it.
If he knows. If you know.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
In 2017, were there capabilities to filter or remove people from photos?
I'm okay with the question, Judge, but I don't.
So no. I think that I can see where someone could be trying to go there.
We're not gonna have any experts
But I do think that.
testify that you can do that. You're not gonna have any experts testify to do that. But if we ask it and he says, I don't know, it could confuse the jury is my concern. We're not gonna have anybody that testifies
No, that's.
that he could remove.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. They're in rabbit holes.
Yeah,
Was the report from October 2017 from ISP or Homeland Security?
I'm okay this report here.
I assume.
I'm okay with the question.
Is that the report? Yeah.
If we can clarify that it's the report.
Well, that's not the report. Is that in Defendant's M? No, it's not. Okay. Was the Knowledge C database? But they do talk about it. Produced by the Homeland Security.
Was the Knowledge C?
Was the Knowledge C database produced by Homeland Security? If he knows.
I'm fine with the question. I'm surprised that well.
Okay. 3 more. What information is on the Knowledge C database?
That's a good one.
What was the February 13th time when the longitude and latitude was taken on the picture of Libby on the bridge? Yeah.
They mean video maybe? I assume they mean video instead of picture.
Well, no, because that was her picture, so they're talking about her picture. Yeah.
Oh, from Snapchat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a transcript of what was said in the video shown?
He's not gonna know that. There's not.
Okay.
But he's not gonna know that.
No.
And that's part of that motion in limine that we need to discuss at some point.
Yeah, we need to talk about that. I'm glad you said that. We'll talk about it later. Okay. And then we'll break.
Sidebar conference concluded.
Lieutenant, what was the February 13th time when the longitude and latitude was taken on the picture of Libby and Abby's location?
February 13th, 2017, at 2:13 p.m.
Any follow-up, Mr. McClelland?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Auger? No. What information is on the Knowledge C database?
From my understanding, the Knowledge C database is something that essentially Apple tracks a lot of data and says it's not there. But in law enforcement, we were able to figure out, or Celebrite and some other providers were able to figure out that this database existed and that the database, GPS coordinates, recent location, frequent locations, how many steps that you've ran or walked, all kinds of data elevation data, all kinds of data that the phone uses to help the user. Experience, if you will, but that's a limited amount. There's so much data there that we've been able to, the power logs, the screen on / screen off, a second-by-second activity of what is happening on that phone.
Mr. McClelland.
Did you know that data existed on February 15th of 2017?
No, we did not know anything about, we didn't know the name of KnowledgeC database or even that database existed at that point.
Do you know when you found out that data existed?
It was probably around 2018 or 2019, just guessing.
And when Ms. Auger asked you about information that's lost when the phone is turned on and off, is it information within that KnowledgeC information that is lost?
Possibly, yes.
Okay. Can other information outside the KnowledgeC information be lost?
Possibly, yes.
What about pictures and videos and text messages? Can those things be lost?
If they're deleted, yes.
Bad question. Can they be lost by turning the phone on and off?
No. Juror examination of Lieutenant Brian Bunner.
Okay. I don't have any other questions, Judge.
Ms. Auger. No. Juror examination of Lieutenant Brian Bunner. Was the report from October 2017 from Indiana State Police or Homeland Security?
So it was from Indiana State Police. We talked about, the extractions, so the extraction is what Homeland Security or U.S. Customs, either way you look at it, that's what they did. They gave me the extraction. I took the extractions 1, 2, and 3, put it in my Celebrite program, its Cal-led physical analyzer, put it all together, and then spit out one report that has all the data in it.
Mr. McClelland.
I don't have any questions, Judge.
No. Was the KnowledgeC database produced by Homeland Security?
I believe so, yes, now that we know that it exists, that we believe that was in the Method 3 extraction, but we did not know that existed at the time in 2017.
Mr. McClelland.
A clarifying question. So you believed it was in the Method 3 extraction, but you didn't know that it existed within that extraction?
Correct. And neither did Celebrite, because they did not parse or pull that juror examination of Lieutenant Brian Bunner information out. In 2017.
Objection, Your Honor, as to what Celebrite may or may not have known. Overruled.
When you put the extraction data into Celebrite, it spit out a report, correct?
Correct.
And I'm talking about October of 2017. I want to be clear.
Yes.
Once you got the Method 3 back, you put the Method 1, 2, and 3 in Celebrite, and it spit out a report. Was there information within that report notifying you that KnowledgeC information existed?
No.
Because Celebrite didn't track that information?
No.
Okay. So it may have been in the extraction, but it didn't produce any information, didn't make you aware of that, in the Celebrite report?
Correct.
Okay. Clarifying question. When you say, we, who do you mean? Do you mean the Cyber Crimes Unit? Do you mean you? Who do you mean when you say, we? You said, we didn't know that KnowledgeC existed. Who you talking about?
Myself included, but also the digital forensic community nationwide. We didn't know that database existed because that was...
The KnowledgeC database?
Yes.
Okay. No other questions, Judge. Thank you.
Ms. Auger. Lieutenant Bunner, just because you didn't know it existed doesn't mean it didn't exist, right?
That's correct.
You knew it was there, you just didn't know about it.
We didn't know it was there.
And we can use that information now, correct?
Possibly, yes.
Thank you. As of February 15, 2017, were you aware of any deleted photos or videos?
No, I was not.
Mr. McClelland.
No questions, Judge. Thank you.
Ms. Auger. No. If you know, do Snapchat photos save to a person's phone?
I would have to dive deeper into that. My understanding is it possibly may, but I'd have to do further research.
Mr. McClelland.
No questions, Judge.
Ms. Auger. No. If you know, could the iPad associated with the same iCloud account have pulled the location of Memorial Park in the map exhibit?
I did examine the iPad associated with Libby. It did have the same iTunes username and Apple ID, but it would not have miscued the location for where that video was taken. That stamped out location it came from the phone.
Mr. McClelland.
Could you have used the iPad to find the location of the phone, if you know?
If it was synced up with the Find My iPhone feature, possibly, yes.
Do you know if it was or not?
I do not off the top of my head. No.
Okay. I don't have any other questions, Judge.
Ms. Auger. No. Was there software in September and October of 2017 that could take the 3-knowledge C export to disseminate into a readable, usable, extracted report?
Just a regular report? I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Was there software in September/October of 2017 that could take the method 3-knowledge C export to disseminate it into a readable, usable, extracted report?
No. You asked specifically about the Knowledge C database. At that point, we didn't know it existed, and Celebrite or any other forensic tools that we had did not parse that database into the fall of September/October 2017.
Mr. McClelland.
So, Lieutenant Bunner, the way I understand the question is there's no tool that you had that would take the Knowledge C information and produce it into a report where you could read, that would tell you what that information is or read what that information is.
No.
Objection, leading. Sustained.
I don't have any other questions, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Auger. No. Did you ever document or take a photograph of the lock screen before the?
I don't believe I did. I try to do that, but I don't remember if I did that for this case or not.
Mr. McClelland.
No questions, Judge.
Ms. Auger. No questions. All right. Thank you, Lieutenant. You may step down. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and break for lunch. While you are outside of the courtroom, please keep your minds open. Please don't form any opinions or conclusions about anything. You may discuss the evidence that you've heard so far, but please, only do that if all 16 of you present in the jury room at the same time, and then, please, don't deliberate. Gentlemen.
All rise.
Jury out at 12:47 p.m.
Let's resume at 2 o'clock, please. Jody, you can go off the record.
Off record at 12:48 p.m.